Told by Gideon Maxim that the first car that came to Trinidad was in 1970, 1900.
Start getting to see the bands as they come forward. I mean, the whole idea of people with flags, and now you'll see bigger pieces.
Holly, these costumes have this shape of costume and style has remained with us right through the carnival. I mean, we still see that costume.
Yes.
It's a completely different style of jumping up as well. This was the real chipping.
Or you used to dance the carnival.
We'll dance the carnival.
And,
I don't think this is a Savannah, Holly. Do you think this? Yes, this is a Savannah. I have to look at it. I'm looking at the hills in the background. These were typical costumes.
everybody was wearing much more clothes than now.
And at the front, Holly, we're seeing the Indian mask, the traditional Indian mask.
Oh yes. Warine Sali Bonda he, Kaisimala he Sima.
Here are the soldiers, kind of Civil War soldiers.
Yes. And the carnival was very influenced by the Americans coming to Trinidad and Tobago.
Very much so. Immediately after the war.
So that's when we had the introduction of all the sailor bands and the Marines.
And here you can see a steel band with military moss, just very briefly.
This would be the African mask, yes? Was that Indian? No, Indian.
It still looks like
still
Indian.
Some of the headdresses are very similar, I guess, because of the feathers.
Yes, oh, definitely.
Indian.
Yes.
Plains American Indian. It's so amazing because I used to go to New Orleans and met members of Mardi Gras Indians. Indian traditions were in both places. And here,
Holly, this is what you could, from the Romans, George Bailey. So this may very well be a George Bailey. And you know, I remember when Minchell first did his production on stage, and everyone was so angry.
Yes.
And people said, "What are you worried about? There were always productions. Look, we're seeing one here. This is a presentation."
When the Indians wanted to perform, every mass had to stop.
Yes.
right.
There was no jumping up on the stage then. It was performance, huh?
And performance with fighting and all the dancers. Now this, I don't understand what this is meant to be. And I remember Peter Mitchell, when he talks, the first thing he remembers as a child is seeing bats. So here were black and white bats.
Holly, do you recognize that the bats here, that their wings are much wider than the ones we have today?
Oh yes, definitely, because...
And then here's Bookman?
The Bookman and the Devils and the The interesting thing is, Ray, that right now the schools, the ministry have introduced people to go into the schools and teach the children how to make these costumes. Holly, look at this dragon there.
See, and this may be the earliest moving footage of Bookman and nice color footage. So I don't know. I mean, and then look at these with the fancy sailor.
Those are headpieces that were terrific in those days.
Absolutely.
Right. I want to show it to him and ask. I don't know why we sit and watch the gentleman on the donkey, but
he was part of the mass.
Yeah.
And here is the Bookman again.
Yeah.
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
And then this is kind of like a posed scene, a tableau, and I have no idea. I mean, it's a Romeo and Juliet.
Holly, is that Strasser? Was that Strasser?
British, old British soldiers and.
Oh, this is lovely. And here we have the ladies of the court.
Yes.
This could have been Byzantine glory, but also by the man whom we spoke about.
Bailey. George Bailey. Okay. In those days, the big names were George Bailey, Saldina.
Yeah.
But definitely the float was Strasser. Was it William Strasser, Holly?
Yes.
It was William Strasser.
Oh.
But before him, the king of March
look at these ladies.
the money they expected. So they are playing the music, and the leader in charge is probably a saxophonist or something like that. And suddenly, the music fade, and the fellas who didn't get the music pack up and leave.
Who didn't get their money.
Yeah, and they left the saxophonist alone in front. Suddenly, all it was hearing was a saxophone playing.
Oh no! They just went no money, no music.
No play.
But look, this is so impressive because, you know, they really would beat out the... Look at it, Lady and the Tramp, that's one of the bands. At least we saw one banner. Thank you everybody for being with us. The Friday, next will be Carnival Friday. Big weekend coming up. Don't forget, stay safe on the roads. Put on your seatbelts, don't drink and drive. Be careful, look after yourselves, okay? And God willing, we'll all be together again Monday. Bye-bye.